Thank you so much, Trish. I love being a part of the ClickUp community. My name is Jacqui Mislinski. I am a recovering perfectionist, productivity nerd, and process junkie. And while Alex spent his time using AI to create fictional project managers like Scrumbelievable, Miss Deadline, maybe Scrumbelina, I was using ClickUp Brain to create workflows and systems that are going to help actual people to be more productive and to prioritize your work. I met so many of you back in the fall after the Thrive in 25 workshop, and you shared a lot of your challenges with me. Here were the most common. I noticed a theme that the number of tasks I have to work on is overwhelming. There's too much to do and too much to keep on top of. Friday comes and I've been busy as hell, but I have nothing to show for it. And my favorite, I wear too many hats and I struggle to prioritize everything. And that last one, I really felt that in my soul also. So I took 6 months and I made it my mission to start solving these problems. And the new AI features have really been like a steroid injection into this new system. So that's what I'm going to share with you today, my Scrum Lite system. So I'm going to cover what the hell is Scrum, how it works, show you my workflow in ClickUp, and yes, you will get a link to download the template. I'm willing to bet that you are thinking one of two things. One, what the hell is Scrum? And no, we're not talking about rugby. And two, Scrum is for tech bros or dev teams. It's not for me or my team, not going to work. So I'm going to address both of those, starting with what the hell is Scrum? It is an agile project management framework that embodies teamwork, collaboration, and continuous improvement. What I love about this is no more working in silos, no more, well, this is how we've always done things. And it embodies these principles. There's more than these, but I wanted to highlight these. Learning from experience, experimentation, adapting to change, and transparency and visibility. So here is how Scrum works. You get shit done in small chunks. And by default, your chunk is 2 weeks. It allows you to hyper prioritize the tasks and projects that are important right now, that are going to bring the highest value and impact to your clients or to your business. So instead of tackling 27 projects and never finishing any of them, we're going to hyper focus on 2 or 3. We're going to break that project down into small chunks and get them done one at a time. And that's going to allow us to focus like hell. And by the end, we're going to have something to show for our work. And what I also love is that at the end of those 2 weeks, we get to recalibrate, because I know something else always comes up that's important and something else always comes up that we didn't think about, and we can readjust. So, right, this isn't just for devs. It's for everyday teams. Here is my favorite part. Ready? You get to take back control of your schedule and your work. I get excited when I get to tell somebody, sorry, I can't work on that thing that you want me to work on because I already have a planned task list. Enough of the talk. Let's get into the workflow, because unlike Alex's fake project managers, this system is actually going to get work done. So are you ready? Are you excited? Does this sound like something you want to hear about? All right, let's go. I'm going to cover 4 features of ClickUp Brain: AI custom fields, the calendar for time blocking, dashboard cards, and agents. I'm going to be honest, my agents are still, they're still in training. They need some dialing in, but those are the 4 things that I'm going to cover. Why is my Stream Deck not doing what I need it to do? There we go. The first part of getting ready for Scrum and getting ready for your first sprint is sprint planning and creating a backlog of all of your projects. I'm going to show you a sample Scrum process to show you what to do, but then I'm going to show you my real work to see the dashboards and the agents and things like that. The first step to Scrum preparation is going to be your planning, is getting everything in your backlog that you can think of. So brain dump all of your current projects, any projects you want to work on. And I like to categorize them by a team or department, and that will come into play with time blocking later. So mark them. If some of these are already in progress, mark them as such. And the thing that I love about this is the AI score, because this is all about prioritizing and doing the important work. So the score takes into account impact, urgency, and effort. And that's a pretty standard prioritization best practice. So let me show you behind the curtain here. So the priority score is a formula, impact times 2. So how valuable is this to get done right now? Urgency, meaning timeliness. Is this something that I don't have to get done in the next 30 or 60 days? Or like this webinar, I have to get it done by a certain date because this is live. And then effort, the amount of energy required to get this done. But here is where I brought AI in that I love. If there is a hard due date on this project or task, we're going to take that into consideration. So if the due date is within 3 days of today, we're going to add 1. If the due date is within 2 days of today, add 2. If the due date is within 1 day of today, add 3. Because if something is due tomorrow and I haven't gotten it done yet, I need that to be the highest priority in my score. So that is how the score works. All right. So when we're doing our sprint planning, we're going to take a look at this backlog now and say, all right, what is my highest score here? My highest score is my website updates. So I'll probably pick my 2 highest score projects and put them into this sprint. But we don't just put an entire project into a sprint. We put tasks into a sprint because an entire project is usually going to take more than 2 weeks. But the sprint is going to contain only the things that you know you can complete in 2 weeks. So let's look at this website update. I've already pre-filled my impact, urgency, and effort. So again, when we're breaking down this project into chunks, I'm going to say of the about section, the services, the case studies, resources, homepage, what is the most impactful to get done? And I've marked that as our homepage because it's the first thing people see, and our services page because if people don't know what we do, yep, that's a problem. And then I've scored everything accordingly. We should also give these sprint points, which is an estimation of effort. Every team has to determine sprint points on their own. I'm not going to cover that now, but I should have included sprint points because that's going to measure how much you can get done. But using this score, I've got services as the highest and the homepage is the second highest and then case studies. So using the workflow, I'm going to add this to my sprint. I'm going to add services to my sprint. And I'm going to add case studies to my sprint. So at a very, very, very high level, that is how you do your prioritization scores. If I go to my 30-day challenge, here I have also already added these numbers so you can see them. So here I did add sprint points, but we've got brainstorm and, I mean, this doesn't make sense. Filming and recording, this is kind of more of a waterfall process, but I'm going to add, just for the sake of the example, I'm going to add brainstorm and plan calendar, and I'm going to add script our first 7 posts to our sprint. Now that we've determined what we're going to get done in the sprint, now we go and actually look at the sprint. So our first day, we're going to do our daily stand-up, and I'm going to look at all of these tasks. They're supposed to be sorted by score. That is not in order at all. ClickUp product team, we got to get on this. So the way I tackle my morning is I say, I look at my points too, because my point tells me how much effort it's going to take. So if I've got an hour time block, what can I get done in that hour that is the most important? So I would take a look at this and go by my highest score. So brainstorming and planning my 30-day content calendar is number 1. So I'm going to do that today. And if I also have time, I'm going to work on the services page. Now, if you have a team, as most of you do, the team all goes in here and picks what they're going to do. And that's what you talk about during your stand-up. So that is how I use the score custom field. Now that we've decided what we're going to do, let's use the calendar to time block. I'm going to work on brainstorming, my 30-day calendar, and my homepage. So ClickUp has put these as my priorities, and they are automatically chosen to be auto-scheduled. So in the morning, I've got my sprint planning Monday, and it's chosen a couple blocks for me to work on this. And tomorrow, I will do the same thing. I will go through and I will click on what I want to work on, but I have no idea what this is. I didn't sign up for that. I love this because I can pick work and put it into the time blocks based on my calendar. So now I'm going to take you into my real sprint, the work I'm doing right now to show you the dashboard cards and agents. So if we come over to the sprint dashboard, which I love, 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 it's going to give me my stand-up, which is everything I've done in the last 24 hours. And then my sprint update, which is going to be everything in this sprint so far. But here's the rest of the dashboard. It can show me everything that I've done, my points, what I've completed, my sprint burn down. Admittedly, I have not been on top of things that well this sprint and what I've completed. The AI cards, though, really are the star of the show here. And let me show you the agents. So in my chat, I have 2 agents. In my sprint folder, I have a daily stand-up, which gives me a little bit more detail than the card. So in the past day, Jacqui's done this. These are my highlights. Here is my summary. And I have it suggesting tasks. Now, this morning before I started recording, I did update my agent to give me 5 suggested things because I'm working across client work and marketing and sales and a whole bunch of other stuff. But it's telling me that today I have to do my sprint review and retro, which again is real. I've got to do it today. And rescheduling a bunch of overdue tasks. So thank you for that. So the agent's built at the sprint folder. So my stand-up, I tell it to generate a stand-up, reference my Scrum document, and suggest 5 tasks for me to complete based on due dates, overdue task urgency, and my score, and include at least some client work. So that is how that agent is built. That is how I stay on top of my work, and every day I am laser focused on what I need to complete. If you want to learn more about Scrum, I highly recommend this book. Somebody in the ClickUp Facebook group told me about it, and it is fantastic. Thank you again, Trish, for having me on today. My name is Jacqui Myslinski. You can get the ClickUp workflow template right there from the QR code. I know you have your phone. Just go scan it, get the template. I would love if you connect with me on LinkedIn, share your stories. Got a lot of videos on YouTube. Well, get some videos on YouTube. And all of my free downloads are available on my website. So thank you again. And I hope that this has helped you to be more productive.